Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again with another action figure review, and today we have in front of us from Executive Replicas and Loose Collector, Red Sonja. And there you can see some artwork, there you can see the figure in the packaging, more artwork. I'm very excited about this one. I just got her a bit late because I pre-ordered her back when they announced her because it looked amazing. But yeah, it was in a pile of loot in my BBTS account, and because I live in Germany, I have to make those shippings count, so I waited for some more items to arrive, and as they did, I finally shipped the thing. Actually, more like you have at some point you have to ship your stuff, otherwise they automatically do it. So I let some stuff stack, and you know the deal if you know shopping with them. Red Sonja again. Red Sonja logo. Here you can read her actual kind of bio, so pause it now if you want to read that thing. I won't read it now. I have to, maybe you can hear it, I'm all under the weather, but I was like, I still have to make these videos because yeah, it's been a while. In any case, it seems like that's all we have to check with the packaging, just some barcodes, not much legal stuff. That's the contents. Again, if you want to read it, pause it now. The logos, and yeah, let's just take her out of there and see how good she actually is. And I'm just doing this kind of live. There you have her in the tray, which you can open like this, and all her accessories are falling over, so I'll just take everything out nicely and we'll continue in a moment. And there you have Red Sonja out of the packaging from Loose Collector and Executive Replicas. And yeah, the figure feels really nice in hand, and I'm not talking about the curves. I don't have anything against them. That might be a reason why I got this figure, you know. But I'm talking about also the feel of the plastic. It feels good to me. There's a couple of things I'm a bit worried about. I'll tell you in a moment. And there's a little bit of a complaint as well. Maybe you know already what it will be, but maybe you don't. Anyway, she comes with a good amount of accessories, which are a couple of extra hands. So here we have expressive hands, just like I'm gonna caress your something hands. You have here the gripping hands, much needed for her weapons, which are the main accessories. But of course, well, also gripping hands are of course a main accessory, or it's not an accessory, it's like just hand options, you know. It's necessary extras. And they have, that's good that I notice right now that the gripping hands have vertical swivels, both of them, which is great because she's dealing with axes and swords and knives. The expressive hands and the fists which she has on her are just like horizontally swiveled, like in and out, and the other ones are up and down. You have this huge axe, which I must say already, the paint on the weapons is nice because they have weathering and the metallics look great, and the metallics also are not just gunmetal or something, they also have like a black wash, so the creases or the cavities here, they have some grime to them, you know. The knives, just look at those, they look like they're real. They're plastic, but they look like a real, some old iron, like something that has been in use, you know. And it's good to see those kind of things, you know. And you have her double-handed sword, which looks, actually that's the one which looks very clean. I don't know why. I think this should also have some, because she's been slicing some people and beasts and all that kind of stuff, and of course, but this, maybe she just got this sword, so that we'll let that one pass because it looks good and it's large and it's nicely painted. You have this like goldish copperish tone, the black for the hilt and for silver for the blade. And then we have Red Sonja herself. Let's just take that complaint right out of the way, which is, I think the eyes should be a bit closer. Just I don't know, I could say a lot closer, but anything closer, it's already a win. And I don't think I'm the only one who sees that, because I'm not the greatest expert or toy designer or whatever. I'm just someone who has eyes and notices things, you know. And I mean, because the sculpt is the reason why I got this figure, because it looked great, but I don't like that the eyes look very separate. I mean, the more I look at it, I'm getting used to it. But my first impression looking at some photos from what was it, Jay Hernandez or some the people who got her like the moment she was released and took some photos, I was like, yeah, I love the poses and I really like the figure and I'm looking forward, but those eyes should be a bit closer, in my opinion, just a little bit. Maybe that's the solution, you know. But just look at the paintwork and I mean, she's clearly a female character. You know, I was born in the 80s, so this is the superhero aesthetic I'm used to, you know, and I won't complain. I mean, that's the reason why I got the figure again. This is another thing that it's for me a bit like, I feel like this section here, like the elbow joint, in my opinion, is a bit like, I mean, please don't do it any thinner than that. I'm afraid that it could break at some point. I hope it never does, you know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope my worries are useless, but it feels to me that this thing is a little bit on the thin side. I don't know how thick that peg is or whatever it's holding the pieces together. I don't know if it's a peg that goes through or if I could pull it, this would snap and I could put it back on. I don't want to even explore, but I'm a bit like that should be. I mean, the figures are over like $70 or something like that, and I mean, I'm in Germany, so I'm paying shipping, and I did pay also some like Zoll. What was the name? Like customs, you know. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm paying extra for these figures. I want them to last. I'm not someone who is playing violently with the figures, but you know, I mean, you want to feel that the thing is sturdy. The plastic feels good. It feels massive. It feels thick as she is. Yeah, you just wanted to see that, right? Look at that. And yeah, she has some underwear painted there. That's not Bosch. It's underwear. I mean, the figure we're dealing with, the character we're dealing with, is not for children, of course. Look at those metallic paints. I mean, the paint is nicely placed. The only thing that is, I'm like, those eyes should be a little bit closer, maybe a bit larger and closer. Yeah, something is. I'm not super happy with the eyes, even if the sculpt is beautiful and the eyes look good. They just should be a bit closer, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I'll leave you decide. She has some sprayed paint for like some like, I was gonna say shading, but well, yes, shading for the muscle tone. It's just like straight lines of spray which suggest what could be much better done, but it's better than nothing, I guess. But the metallics, all the browns for the straps and the boots, and also the boots and the gloves have weathering. The armor, or the mail for her bikini here and her piece here on the neck and shoulders, and these kind of bracelets or whatever they're called. I don't have the words today, sorry. This decorative little plating for the arms and all of that doesn't have weathering, but at least it looks really nice, this metallic paint. And due to the shape, because it's like a coat mail or whatever it's called, again the language, so it shades itself with the lighting and direction, you know. Just look at, I mean, this is clearly a woman. Anyway, she's nicely built, and I appreciate that, and I like having a figure like this. She's 7 inch, and I'm talking too much. Let's actually get into articulation, because you know, even if I don't like the eyes being a bit separate, I just am amazed with the figure, you know, the build, and yeah, that's why I got her. She can look up a little bit, she can look down that far. I mean, of course, if you do with the diaphragm, she will look up as much as you need, yeah. And she has a little bit of a diaphragm that can bend that far forward, that much backwards. So there is both forwards and backwards. Of course, if she had something at the lower bit, that could help also, but they didn't want to sacrifice the sculpt. That's I guess obvious. I mean, because of, yeah, this is a piece that you also want to appreciate just in a pose, you know, without much breakage of the actual figure. The arms can lift up all the way. I mean, you can lift the shoulders that far, and they can of course go all the way around. The hair will get in the way, but you can take it out of the way. She has just below those armbands or bracelets or whatever they're called, that's the bicep cut, and it's perfectly hidden. So yeah, plus points. The elbows would be better also if they would be double jointed, and yeah, done in a more, in my opinion, more sturdy or thicker way that I feel it's more safe. But hey, they're designed like this, and they do over 90 degrees of bend, slightly over 90 degrees. We'll have to be happy with that for now. I would prefer double jointed and that they could bend even more. I mean, she's a warrior, and yeah, she needs some flexibility, you know. The hands can turn all the way around and go in and out. The gripping hands for the weapons go vertically again. She has also tilt to the side. She can turn around without feeling that you are destroying anything. It moves very nicely. Actually, it's even also a little bit loose. I mean, because of the weight of the hair, which is thick, rubbery plastic. Of course, it weighs on the diaphragm there. The legs can do almost the full splits, and that's the mechanism. Again, just regular pegs, no drop down or anything. She has it, I mean, she can kick 90 degrees, just perfect 90. Of course, the skirt will direct that a bit outwards, but it's okay. The thigh cut is hidden again perfectly below these straps, so you don't see it, but it exists and it's functional. The Black Series, maybe you should try this kind of stuff. Anyway, there you have double jointed knees that can bend that far. No boot cut, if I'm right. Yes, no boot cut. I think I'm right. Anyway, the boots can, well, the feet can go backwards that far. Oh, and can go forward that far. Of course, these shoes won't be super easy to pose. They have some surface, and they have peg holes on both feet, so you can try to balance her. I mean, I'm sure I will be able, but it won't be as easy as with a regular, you know, full feet, you know. But yeah, just look at that. So there you have her wielding her giant axe. Yes, that's the first pose that came to mind. There you have her with the knives. Just look at those knives, man. And there she is with her double-handed sword. I mean, you can also hold that sword with one hand. So I guess this would be what they call a bastard sword, because it's not the largest sword ever, but it's it's large enough that it's like a two-handed sword. But she could also wield it with one hand, and of course slice some necks, you know. Anyway, great posing. I mean, I'm having fun posing with this figure. I mean, it's very poseable, even if it doesn't have all the articulation some other figure has, but she has enough to be able to do some great posing. Now, for size comparisons, there you have Red Sonja from Loose Collector and Executive Replicas, next to some of the G.I. Joe Classified and Valaverse women, Scarlet, the Baroness, Eclipse, and Pandora. And next to a McFarlane Spawn, a Master Verstila, Marvel Legends, Deadheads 2, and the Black Series Darth Vader. This is the only one I have opened, the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi, whatever, with the removable helmet, which I have the review on the channel also, not plugging in, of course not. Anyway, this Red Sonja figure, the more I play with her and look at her, the more I like her. Even if I said it, that with the eyes is still an issue, will stay an issue as long as those eyes are not closer. Yeah, I have to check the webs of the internet now if there are some custom heads for this specific figure. I would love to get some. Great figure. Could be a bit better in some stuff, some places, like for me those elbows feel a bit risky or flimsy, a little bit, you know, even if the plastic feels good generally. I didn't have to boil her or put her into hot water or anything. Everything was moving properly out of the box. And but yeah, those eyes, man, I mean, from a distance is less of a problem, but the closer you bring her to your eyes, the more you realize, like, the eyes should be just a little bit closer, in my opinion. Please leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.